There's a couple of things I didn't like about the standard setup. The first is the bracket that the tablet mounts to is plastic. This is the original part, and it only has a neck strap hoop at the very bottom, which means that when you a neck strap, another thing I think is really essential, have a neck strap, because it means you can't drop the transmitter. Some of them I think came with a neck strap, mine didn't, so I've just got one that I had in stock. But it just means that you've got it supported around your neck. You don't have to worry about dropping the transmitter either when you're flying or when you're getting ready to fly, which is going to be a pain. So yeah, the problem is the way it comes, that will obviously doesn't hang straight. So the two advantages of the metal bracket are, one is that it's much more rigid, so there's no wobble or movement on that tablet, which there was on the plastic version. And the second is that you've got a higher up hoop for the neck strap, which means when you pick it up, it still doesn't balance perfectly, but it's much closer. And when you're actually wearing it, it sits against your front, and it holds really nicely. So I think that's a big improvement. You can buy the Inspire version of the tablet holder, which has the metal bracket, but it's just a metal equivalent of this, so it doesn't have the higher loop. That's about £21. This bracket I just bought on eBay. It was called CNC Monitor Bracket Inspire, I searched, and it was £7.58 delivered, and it fits really nicely. So I really recommend getting that. It's a really nice solution. Another thing on the transmitter, I found when I first used it, that the buttons, the record button is very nice. It's smooth and flush. So when you're flying, you're feeling for it, and it's distracting. And also on the stills button, there's a play button and the still photo button. It's easy to get confused between them. So this is something I've done before, where you just take a bit of fluffy Velcro and just stick it over the buttons that you use. That way, when you're flying, you don't have to guess if you're on the button or not. You know straight away, and you've got a really positive action, so you don't miss click or move around or be distracted, especially if you're trying to move the sticks. I pinch my sticks, so to be able to just reach out with my finger and just find the buttons easily is really important. So again, that doesn't cost anything, but I think is a useful thing to think about. The gimbal tilt I don't find a problem with, because it's quite it protrudes. I can find that easily. And again, with the flight mode switch, although you're not going to use that as often in flight, it's easy to find that. So it's really just those two record buttons that I found that was useful for. I got the iPad Mini 2, which I've bought just for this. So it has quite a shiny screen. So a matte screen protector is really important. They're very cheap. I got a £1.96 on eBay for 3. Be careful that you are sent an actual matte one though, because some of them you can send a gloss one by mistake. But the matte ones, there's very little reflection, if any. You can see there's no reflection there, and it means that when you're using it outside, it's not distracting at all. So that's really important. The other thing I got was a short lightning cable. Again, it comes with a USB cable for an Android tablet, but not for the lightning cable. So the one that comes with the iPad is quite long, so you either have to tie it around the aerials I've seen, which I don't like the look of, or you could bundle it up and put a tie wrap around it. But I just thought it would be neater just to get a short cable, so I bought this one. Again, this is on eBay for under a £5. It's just if you just search DJI USB Lightning, you can find there's quite a few of them. It's roughly about 12 inches or 30 centimeters long, and it's perfect length to just plug in to the transmitter, and then you can just run it up out the way into the tablet, and it's really neat, so it's not going to get in your way or look untidy. So that, again, I think is worth spending a couple of pounds on. Something I bought, which I'm not sure I would recommend, is the Sunshade. Now, I know there is an official DJI one that's a little bit more money. I bought a cheap one, which I think is pretty similar, if not identical. This was about a £5 on eBay. I think I paid £5.69 delivered. I searched for DJI iPad Mini Sunshade. And the idea is good, that you can, you just flick this open, it Velcros together, and it's got a matte interior so that it doesn't give you any reflection. So I like the idea of that. There's a couple of issues with it. As it comes, it's got these sticky pads all the way down, which pushes the tablet up, which means the tablet won't actually clip under this bottom edge, so it doesn't secure it very nicely. So I didn't like that, so I've had to cut them off just by sliding a pair of thin scissors up underneath to cut the stitching away. The other thing is the hole for the lightning cable was not really in the right place, so I actually had to cut that lower. So, I mean, I don't mind if it's cheap, I don't mind modifying things to work, but I would have been annoyed, I think, if I paid more money for it. Once you've done that, you have to take the tablet out of any frame, because it's a very snug fit. you can just snug that up there, and then that will just clip under top and bottom, and it does fit fine. The the lightning cable, sorry, will then go in the side there. Oh, let's get that clicked in. There we go, and that then works fine. I'm not sure how useful it's going to be. I think it's something that's worth having in the box for a very sunny day. I certainly know with my previous monitor, my 5.8 gig FPV monitor, you did need a sunshade to see it on a bright day. So I suspect it will be the same. So it's an okay solution. I mean, it's cheap, so I don't mind modifying it, but I think it's probably something that's worth thinking about. Maybe see how you get on without it, because it may be that it's just not needed with a matte screen protector.